Welcome to another deep dive. We're going to be exploring a story you might not be familiar with. It's called the Book of Tobit.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the Apocrypha, those texts that didn't quite make it into the main biblical canon.
Right.
But trust me, this one's got adventures, surprising lessons. We're talking family drama, angelic encounters, and some really ancient wisdom.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how these apocryphal books kind of offer a unique window into the religious and cultural landscape at the time.
Yeah.
They give us a different perspective on the beliefs and practices of Jewish people during periods like the Assyrian exile.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We meet Tobit, a devout Israelite living in Nineveh, right in the middle of the Assyrian exile. What stands out to you about his character?
I think what's really compelling is Tobit's unwavering commitment to Jewish law, even when he's surrounded by a culture that doesn't share his beliefs.
Right.
I mean, it would have been so easy to assimilate, to blend in, but Tobit holds fast to his faith. He consistently gives alms to the poor, even risks his life to bury his fellow Israelites, and clings to his traditions.
Wow.
It really shows his strength of character, his deep-rooted faith.
Yeah, he's definitely not just going through the motions. It really makes you wonder how his actions might have inspired others in his community.
Oh, absolutely.
Then things take a turn. He loses his sight due to we'll just say a very unfortunate incident with bird droppings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bizarre incident for sure. But in literature, blindness often represents a lack of spiritual vision. In Tobit's case, I wonder if it symbolizes this period of testing, a time when his faith is challenged in a very profound way.
Yeah, it definitely raises the stakes.
It does.
And speaking of challenges, this is where Tobit's son Tobias enters the picture.
Right. Tobit sends Tobias on this dangerous mission to recover a family fortune from a distant relative in Media.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that is full of peril. And it really tests the bond between father and son.
So we got a classic road trip story with some seriously high stakes, but there's more to it than just retrieving this money, right?
Oh, for sure.
This mission seems to be about more than just material wealth.
Absolutely. It's a journey of faith, obedience, and self-discovery. Tobias, despite the risks, willingly obeys his father.
Right.
And Tobit, though worried for his son, trusts in God's protection.
Yeah, their relationship is a testament to that enduring power of family ties.
Yeah, there's a beautiful dynamic there, that trust between them despite that fear of the unknown. And didn't you mention something about a, shall we say, memorable encounter with a fish?
Oh, yes. Tobias's journey is anything but boring. While washing in the Tigris River, he's attacked by this monstrous fish that tries to swallow him whole.
I'm guessing he doesn't just fight it off with a fishing rod. How does he escape this predicament? Well, he gets some unexpected help from this mysterious traveler named Azarias. And this stranger guides Tobias on his journey, and as we'll discover later, he's more than meets the eye.
Okay.
Azarias instructs Tobias to catch the fish, and intriguingly, to save its heart, liver, and gall.
Wait, save the fish parts. That's not something you see in your average travel guide.
Right.
What's the significance of that?
It's fascinating how certain objects take on symbolic meanings in these stories, and the fish parts play a really crucial role later on, highlighting, I think, the belief in the medicinal and even spiritual power of natural elements.
Oh, okay.
For instance, the heart and liver are said to ward off evil spirits, while the gall is used to heal blindness.
Okay, so it's like an ancient organic first aid kit.
Yes, exactly.
This journey's quickly become much more than a simple errand. And isn't there a marriage involved somewhere along the way?
There is. Guided by Azarias, Tobias arrives in Media and he meets Sarah, the daughter of Rogel, who happens to be the one holding the family fortune.
Okay.
And Azarias suggests that Tobias marry Sarah.
That sounds like a pretty convenient solution. But I remember you mentioning that Sarah has a rather unsettling past.
She does.
What's the story there?
Well, Sarah has a tragic history. She's been married 7 times, and each husband died on their wedding night, killed by the demon Asmodeus.
7 husbands. That's a whole other level of bad luck. It seems like there's a lot more at play here than a simple marriage proposal. What do you think draws Tobias to Sarah despite this terrifying secret?
It's a good question. Perhaps it's a testament to his courage, his faith, or maybe even a touch of destiny. But, we can't deny the significant role that Azarias plays in guiding these events.
Yeah, this deep dive is getting really interesting. We've got demonic threats, a mysterious guide, and a risky marriage proposal. Can't wait to see how this unfolds. Okay, so we left off with Tobias facing a seemingly impossible situation, marrying a woman whose previous 7 husbands met a tragic end, all thanks to a demon. This wedding night has got, like, danger written all over it.
Yeah, it's definitely a high-stakes situation. But remember those fish parts that Azarias told Tobias to keep?
Yeah.
Well, they come into play here in a very surprising way.
I have a feeling this isn't your typical, like, wedding night ritual. What exactly happens?
Well, following Azarias' instructions, Tobias burns the fish's heart and liver, creating this pungent smoke that drives the demon Asmodeus away.
Okay, so the secret weapon against a demon is smelly fish. It makes you wonder about the significance of these ancient beliefs about the natural world.
Yeah, it's a fascinating glimpse into a worldview where those lines between the physical and spiritual are kind of blurred. These fish parts, seemingly ordinary objects, become imbued with this extraordinary power. And we can't forget the power of prayer here too, right? Both Tobit and Sarah have been praying for deliverance, and their prayers are answered in this very dramatic fashion.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes help arrives in the most unexpected forms, even from the most unlikely sources. So the demon is vanquished, the wedding can proceed, and we're assuming Tobias survives the night.
He does, yeah. With Asmodeus out of the picture, Tobias and Sarah can finally begin their married life. And it's a testament to Tobias's faith and courage that he was willing to face such a terrifying situation.
He's definitely proving himself to be his father's son. But the story doesn't end there, does it? What happens next for this, newly married couple?
Well, Tobias had made a promise to return to his father, and he's also eager to try and use that fish's gall to cure Tobit's blindness. So after celebrating with Sarah's family, Tobias, Sarah, and Azarias set out for Nineveh, accompanied by half of Raguel's wealth as a generous wedding gift.
Oh, wow. It sounds like they're returning home with a lot more than just a new wife. Makes you wonder what kind of impact this newfound wealth might have on Tobit and his family.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Will it change them? Will they remain grounded in their faith despite this sudden prosperity? These are questions that I think the story subtly invites us to consider.
The return to Nineveh must have been an emotional one, especially for Tobit and Anna, who have been, anxiously awaiting their son's return.
Oh, absolutely. Just imagine the scene. Anna has been fearing the worst, worried that Tobias might have suffered the same fate as Sarah's previous husbands. And then she sees him approaching in the distance, safe and sound.
Wow.
It's a moment of pure relief and joy.
Yeah, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. And then, of course, there's the matter of Tobit's blindness. Do they actually attempt to use the fish's gall for healing?
They do. Tobias applies the gall to his father's eyes, and the effect is immediate. Tobit feels this stinging sensation, and then, miraculously, the whiteness that had clouded his vision peels away. He can see again.
That's an incredible moment of healing and restoration. It speaks to the power of faith, the strength of family bonds, and perhaps even that, ancient wisdom about the healing properties of nature.
Yeah, it's a powerful testament to the transformative nature of hope and belief. Tobit, now able to see his son again, is overcome with gratitude and joy. And this experience really deepens his faith and strengthens his resolve to live a righteous life.
It's a beautiful reminder that even in the darkest of times, miracles can happen and hope can be restored. But the story doesn't end there, does it? What happens to Azarias? He's been such a pivotal character throughout this whole journey.
Yeah, this is where things take a truly unexpected turn. Before departing, Azarias reveals his true identity to Tobit and Tobias. He's not just a helpful traveler, he's Raphael, one of the 7 archangels who stand before God.
Wow. So all this time, they've been traveling with an archangel. It puts a whole new perspective on their journey. Does Raphael offer any explanation for his intervention?
He does, yeah. He reveals that he was sent by God to heal Tobit and Sarah, to bring them together, and to guide Tobias on his mission. It was a divine intervention orchestrated from the very beginning.
It really makes you wonder about those unseen forces at work in our own lives, those moments where we might be guided or protected without even realizing it. Does Raphael leave them with any parting words of wisdom?
He does.
Mm.
Yeah, he emphasizes the importance of praising God, doing good deeds, praying, giving alms, and living a righteous life. It's a really powerful message about the importance of aligning our actions with our faith.
Yeah, it's not just about believing in God, but about living in a way that reflects that belief. And it's
Yeah.
fascinating how Tobit, after experiencing this miraculous chain of events, feels compelled to kind of express his gratitude in this very profound way.
You're talking about his prayer of rejoicing, right?
Yeah.
After witnessing such extraordinary events, he composes this beautiful prayer that reflects his deepened understanding of God's mercy and justice.
Yeah. What are some of the key takeaways from Tobit's prayer? What insights does he offer?
I think his prayer is a message of hope and restoration. He acknowledges God's power to both punish and forgive, to guide us through trials and lift us up from despair. He encourages his fellow Israelites, scattered in exile, to confess God's greatness and return to him with their whole hearts.
It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of adversity, there's always a path back to faith and redemption. And it's not just about individual salvation. Tobit's prayer also expresses this yearning for a restored Jerusalem, this vision of a future filled with joy and renewal.
Exactly. His prayer transcends personal experience and kind of speaks to this collective longing for healing and restoration. And it's a powerful message of hope for a community struggling to maintain its identity and faith in a foreign land.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, we're left with this image of Tobit, his sight restored, his family reunited, and his faith deepened. It's a powerful reminder that even amidst challenges, there's always the potential for transformation and growth. So we've journeyed with Tobit and his family through blindness, demonic threats, a whirlwind marriage, and even a miraculous healing. It's a pretty captivating story. But like any good story, there's more to it than just the plot. What are some of the deeper lessons we can take away from this ancient text? What wisdom does it offer us today?
I think one of the most prominent themes is this idea of divine providence, that God is actively involved in our lives, guiding us, protecting us, even when we can't see it. Tobit and Tobias face these immense challenges, but they never waver in their belief that God is with them, orchestrating events for their ultimate good.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not alone in our struggles. Even when things seem hopeless, there's a higher power at work, a plan unfolding that we might not fully grasp in the moment. But it's not just about passively accepting fate, right? Tobit and his family actively seek God's will through prayer and obedience.
Yeah, exactly. It's this dynamic relationship. They pray for deliverance, they trust in God's guidance, and they strive to live righteously. And their actions really demonstrate a deep faith that's not just about words. It's about aligning their lives with God's will.
Yeah, Tobit's unwavering commitment to Jewish law, even in exile, his generosity toward the poor, his courage in burying the dead, these are all acts of faith in action. It makes you wonder, how do we define righteousness in our own lives? What does it mean to live righteously today?
It's a question worth pondering, I think. Tobit's example suggests that righteousness is about more than just following rules. It's about living with integrity, compassion, and a deep sense of justice. It's about making choices that reflect our values and contribute to the well-being of others, even when it's difficult or inconvenient.
Yeah, it's about doing the right thing simply because it's the right thing to do, not for reward or recognition. And it's fascinating how Tobit's seemingly small acts of kindness, giving alms, burying the dead, ultimately contribute to his family's deliverance. It's like this ripple effect of goodness.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the interconnectedness of our actions and the unexpected ways in which they can impact the world around us. We might not always see the immediate results, but the Book of Tobit suggests that even small acts of kindness and generosity can have really profound consequences.
And we can't forget the importance of family in this story. The love and loyalty between Tobit and Anna, the bond between Tobit and Tobias, the blossoming relationship between Tobias and Sarah. These relationships are a source of strength and resilience in the face of adversity.
Oh, absolutely. Family provides that sense of belonging, support, and unconditional love. And we see this throughout the Book of Tobit. Even when they're separated by distance, danger, their love for each other remains a constant.
Yeah, it's a beautiful testament to that enduring power of family ties, the way those bonds can sustain us through challenging times. And there's a powerful message about honoring parents as well. Tobias's willingness to obey his father, to risk his life, to fulfill his father's wishes. It speaks volumes about the respect and reverence he holds for his parents.
Yeah, it's a reminder that our parents, though imperfect, often offer valuable wisdom and guidance. And their love and support can be a real source of strength as we navigate the complexities of life.
Mm.
Of course, we might not always agree with their advice,
Yeah.
and times have certainly changed since the days of arranged marriages.
Right.
But that underlying principle of seeking guidance from those who care about us, I think, remains relevant.
It's about recognizing the wisdom that comes from experience, from those who have walked the path before us. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Book of Tobit, what's the key takeaway? What wisdom can we carry with us from this ancient tale?
I think it's an invitation to cultivate the same virtues that we see embodied in Tobit and his family: faith, perseverance, compassion, generosity, and a commitment to living righteously.